That doesn't give me much hope.
Did I do something? Alright, let me see. Alright, can you see my screen?
I sure can.
Alright. And do you hear the sound? It's pretty faint right now. Alright, let me turn that down a bit. Alright, let's start off on Champ Select. You're using that Overwolf thing, which is kind of cool. Professor.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Alright, let's see. Champ Select. Okay, and was there any particular reason why you picked Leona this game, or was it just that you felt like playing her?
Pretty much. I was trying to get a Leona game in for the video. It's kind of a champ I've been trying to pick up lately. I'm not quite sure about what matchups I should play her into.
I mean, to be completely honest, she doesn't really have that many bad matchups. The only really bad one is Morgana.
Very low.
And then Janna's like kind of annoying, and Lulu can be kind of annoying, but other than
Charging battery.
Oh, and I guess like Braum and Tom Kench, but both of those aren't terrible either.
Right.
Like, they're still okay.
They don't kill you, they just keep you from your engage.
Yeah, so they're not really that hard. Well, I mean, it's kind of annoying, but other than that, it's not the end of the world.
Do you pretty much go even with, like, say, Nautilus?
I would say Nautilus is generally Leona advantage.
Okay.
You can it's, I don't know, maybe I'm just familiar with the matchup, but it's pretty easy to kill him in lane.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, part of the reason is because your okay, this sounds really nitpicky, but your auto attacks are a lot faster than Nautilus. So if you and Nautilus just walk at each other, you can Q him before he can do anything. Mm-hmm. And then you can just stun him, and then he doesn't have his Aftershock or his W, and you can chunk like half his health.
Okay.
So he actually can't really walk up at all.
So you want to start out on him. If he's walking up, you want to Q him in the face.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Yeah, so like a lot of the times you can just Q him, and then he loses half his health, and then you just win the lane because he can't do anything.
Just running away at that point.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. I doubt much is going to happen early game. You got the Pauldrons, which I like that, or the Steel Shoulder Guards, I like that.
I agree, I think AP on her is kind of useless.
It is. It's better than the Relic Shield. Alright. Maybe there's some action here. We'll see. We've also got the small chat and the small HUD. Everything optimized.
Yeah, it helps me out a lot, I think. I've watched streams, or I've like played on a Smurf, like one of my old Smurfs, and like it's huge and it makes me like sick almost. Like, why is everything so huge?
Yeah, I do the HUD about half the size just because if it's really small, I find it's annoying for me just because I can't ping like my level and stuff.
Oh, that's true.
I don't find it that intrusive. I actually find they should make it easier to ping your level.
I agree with that.
Or your EXP. Or just let your allies see your EXP, like right here.
Yeah, or let them ping it if they want to know what's left.
Yeah, like I don't know why they don't let your allies see EXP. That's just kind of troll in my opinion. Yeah, but whatever.
Especially if you're able to...
Charge complete.
Alright, so it's Pyke and MF. And you're Draven Leona. So what do you think about this lane?
Well, after playing it, I think it ended up being kind of a rough lane for us. So it kind of seems like they have the advantage. Either that or I'm not used to the matchup.
I mean, it's a very bloody matchup, just because you and Pyke are like hard engage. Yeah. And then Draven and MF are both really strong early game. And they can chunk, so this seems like a lane that can go either way extremely quickly, because like at any time, like a random fight can break out and a random double kill can happen, and then whoever got the double kill can just snowball.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened. I don't... a few games after this, so I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, so what do you think about the wave in this game? What do you think you should be trying to do, if possible? Like, you can't always do it, but...
Seems like with the Leona, you don't really want to shove into their tower, because there's not much you can do. So it seems like we either want to keep it mid lane, or have it shoved towards us.
Yeah, so that's definitely the best. So you probably just want a last hit. And if that's not possible, like if they're just like getting zoned from the creeps for no reason, then getting a slow push is also okay.
Okay.
But that's like, it's better to have them push into you. Alright, so, I mean, I doubt anything's gonna happen level 1.
Correct. Everybody's just trying to hit that level 2.
Alright. Draven missed a creep. I guess he's reported. Alright, so I like that you're walking up here. You got the hook. Pike started with his dash. That's really weird.
I agree with that. It would surprise the crap out of me when I went to his tower.
I'm not sure if you could have went for the MF here. Let's see. Because ideally you'd want to go in the MF. But I think she was too far, yeah. She's probably too far. One thing you can actually do is you can target swap. So you don't necessarily have to Q the person that you E. So right here, you can actually turn and drop your Q on the MF right here.
That's a good idea.
Because, like, there's no way that the Draven can actually hit this Pike because he E'd out and he's too far. If you Q the MF, there's a chance that he like gets here in time to drop an auto on her. So like maybe that's slightly better. Like I don't think this does really a big impact, but it's just that like small things can sometimes matter.
Yeah, because he ran up and hit her, so we could have half health.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was overall pretty good. It's just that it's really weird that Pike started with his dash. Otherwise, it would have been fine. So it looks like you have a slow push right now. So ideally you probably just want to crash this into tower at some point, so then it bounces back. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's what happens.
I think that was a Leona main, so maybe he knew we were going to hit level 2 first. And he was looking at that.
Or maybe he just never skilled anything. Alright. So in general, when the lane state is in one of like a shitty spot like this, there's two things that you can do. The worst thing you can do is just like kind of like hit creeps every now and then. Because if you do that, the wave is gonna just stay there. The two things you can do is you can either try to hard shove it. And if you hard shove it, then these caster creeps will get into tower range, and then they're going to die, and then the wave bounces back. And the other thing you can do is if you only last hit in a spot like this, because their creeps are closer to the tower, they get reinforcements first, and then like basically the way that it ends up happening is that your creeps, if you're closer to the tower, they target fire one person. So then this wave ends up pushing this way. So like the two ways to bounce it is either one, hard shove it, or two, only last hit.
Okay.
So like generally, yeah. When this happens, you kind of want to look at what your AD carry is doing. Is he last hitting or is he pushing? And you basically want to do what he's doing. So he's kind of pushing, so maybe you want to help him push. Or, okay, so if you look at it right now, they actually have the minion advantage right here, and it's closer to their tower. So if you don't do anything in this spot, it automatically pushes your way.
Okay.
Like this Draven, there's a good chance that he'll fuck it up just because he's not really familiar with wave control. But, like, you want to make sure that you wouldn't fuck this up. So, like, if you walked up and autoed these creeps, you would, like, maybe screw it up at this point. I mean, Yeah, okay, so they break the freeze, so that's fine. Alright. We've got a ward coming up soon. Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, you just look for hooks on the MF. And... yeah, alright, so let's go back a little bit. So right now you can be standing, like, a little further up. Like, I know you backed off to drop the minion aggro, but you can also just move further up, because the pike can't really do anything to you. And you need to be, like, in range to pressure the MF. And that's not really that big of a deal. She's playing pretty safe, so... yeah, okay. I mean, this is kind of shitty just because the Draven is pushing.
Should have focused the MF there. I think we would have picked that one up.
Yeah, alright, so there's a few things to note on this fight. So I think, first of all, getting the ward is fine. Because you've got, like, the push advantage, you've got more creeps, so this should be okay. That's kind of Draven's fault for getting caught. Missing the E, like, this kind of sucks. But it's not the end of the world. The flash Q, I like that. Just because, yeah, like, otherwise this Draven is dead. Alright, so it's basically here that you screw up. Alright. Well, okay, so you should probably focus the MF, but at this point, focusing the pike is fine, because, like, you know that Graves is coming, so you can probably get both. The thing that I didn't like here is that you just used your Q, like, directly. Because in this situation, like, sometimes using your Q directly is fine. Like, after you E somebody, because if you don't Q directly, then they can flash out. Or, like, if you need to peel for your AD carry, you definitely want to Q directly, but, like, this isn't really one of those cases. So here you want to try to maximize your damage, so you should definitely be using your auto and then a Q.
Okay.
And using your Q as an auto attack reset. And the other thing is, like, at this point, you know that they're running, right? Because there's the Graves. So you see how you walked over this way?
Yes.
Yeah, so you should not be kiting this way, because at this point, you know that they're trying to run away, right?
Correct.
So
you walked back towards their tower instead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, first of all, you should have auto-queued there, but now you should be kiting downwards over here. Because, like, you know that they're running, and, well, first of all, you're full health, they can't kill you, and they're running, they won't have time to hit you anyway. So you want to be in a position so you can always hit them. So, like, you see how you missed an auto attack and then they're running? Like, if you had kited the other way instead of kiting up, you could still be hitting them right now. Yeah, like, you didn't have a ward, but right here, like, you're on top of the MF. So you should have just queued her right now. Like, you don't need to really go for the pike here. And either way, you should have definitely E'd faster if you didn't queue. I mean, I think this was just, like, overall kind of tragic. If you played a little better, you could have probably had both of those kills.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so now you probably just want to push it and then recall because your Draven is really low. So, like, in this case, you can even just pop your W and walk over here. Or you can just auto and help him push it so you can go back to base faster. Yeah.
Okay, greedy for one minion there.
Everyone's a winner.
Thanks, Graves.
Right. See, I could have auto-queued there, probably.
No, you don't want to auto queue when you're running away, just because it slows you down. Right. Anyway, that was tragic. Let's see if you could have done. I mean, basically, what happened? Like when you're in a situation like this, you definitely want to tell yourself, "I need to hurry up, push, and get out of here."
I think where I was uncomfortable was the minions were under the tower, but I see what you mean. They can't really do anything.
Well, you definitely can't hit these creeps, but you can be up here and hitting these creeps. Plus, you also need to protect your Draven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, you're sitting behind your Draven. If Pike E's in, Draven is dead. So you need to be up front for two reasons. One, you need to protect this Draven, and you also need to help shove this in so you can back faster.
I think I kept expecting him to leave to go me out.
Yeah, but like you actually, the reason you can't leave right now, because if you leave right now, you lose lane.
Alright.
Why do you think that?
By them being able to freeze it right here.
Yeah, they can just get a freeze, and then you're fucked, basically. Which is why you always want to crash it into tower first. Yeah, so like you definitely should have helped them push, and like once again, I think you're kind of far back right now. Yeah. Tragic. All right, let's see. What do you get? Shoes. That's fine. Yeah, well, okay. Cloth armor is also okay. Let's go back to lane. Okay, so Draven shoved it again. Damn, you guys are up 20 CS.
Yes.
It's kind of good. Alright, so that was a good hook. Alright, what's the plan now?
Plan now, we got 4 bot. I think the plan is to shove and get some plates.
Yeah, or shove in either, like you can try to dive too. If she gets greedy and stays. Because she's pretty low. Like if 3 of you are there, you just E onto her and she's dead. Or it looks like maybe your team gets dragon. Either way, you need to shove. So you can either dive or get dragon. You still have ignite, like to be honest, right now I'd be spam pinging my Graves to dive her, because like she's pretty much a free kill right now, right?
Yes.
Like if you don't, okay, so generally when you dive on Leona, you don't want to open up with your E, because if you open up with your E and you miss, then the dive is kind of fucked, right? Because she can just walk out. So normally when you like walk out over here, she's gonna try to like juke around the tower, your E, and then you just walk up and you Q her in the face.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they can't dodge the Q, because if she runs away, then she's out of tower range and you can E her and she's dead. So generally what they do is they try to juke the E around the tower. And then you just get the Q off, and then with your aftershock and your W, you can like walk out. And you won't die to the tower. Yeah, like you can take a tower hit or two pretty easily. And it looks like Graves isn't coming. Oh, he is coming. Yeah, so like right now you should definitely be walking up before you run out of creeps. Oh, so Zach is there actually. I lied.
That could have been nasty.
Yeah, they're all there, so now...
But I could see like when that, at first, if I wouldn't have hesitated, that MF could have died to a tower dive.
Yeah, I mean generally if you want to do a dive, you need to do it really quickly, because otherwise their team will respond and come. Right now, I think just finishing off your back would have probably been better. Because you can't really do much here. Actually, I can't see the lane state. Or the creeps. Okay, so they are shoving it pretty hard, so I guess staying was fine. Okay, so... Right now, something happened. This is a window of opportunity. Do you know what happened?
You're talking about the Pike leaving lane?
Yeah, so the Pike is over here right now, and the MF is all the way down here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you engage on the MF right now, the Pike can't get here in time. It would take him like 5 seconds to walk from there all the way down to here, even just to get into hook range. So if you play, like as soon as he leaves lane, you need to start playing more aggressive. So you see how, okay, so now he's back. Like I don't know if you could have done anything, but you do have your Ignite. So, like, it's possible that, like, if she would have misstepped, you could have maybe popped her.
Yeah. I think I was looking at their minion advantage, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, actually, okay, so minion advantage is obviously important when you're diving, but Leona's W gives you flat damage reduction. So as long as the W is up, the minions basically don't do any damage to you.
Okay.
They only hit you for, like, 3 damage each. So... you don't take that much from minion aggro. Like, your AD carry can still get dunked by the minions, but you yourself are fine.
Interesting.
So, it's less dangerous to engage into minions as Leona.
Okay.
Yeah, so at this point, alright, so what do you think? What do you think you should be doing?
So, what I was looking at here, I was gonna kind of move in to see if I can help out, and if not, I would go back to lane to help kind of shove lane.
Yeah, so it looks like the Graves is probably dead right now.
Yes.
So you could have probably turned back like 1 or 2 seconds ago, and right now you know that MF is alone, so you can try to kill her. So like right now there isn't really much point. Because you can't really do anything on your own. Yeah, so this ended up kind of wasting some time. You could have tried to kill MF. Or even if you can't kill MF, you can also push the lane so you get a recall. Because you haven't recalled in a while. So now you're recalling with the wave in the middle of the lane, which is... like, it's not the worst, but if you would have turned back faster, instead of like doing that whole stuff with Zac, you could have maybe shoved that into tower.
Yeah.
And that would have given you a better recall. Alright, let's speed this up. Okay, so you get Mobies and the pink ward. Okay, so...
go Mobies?
Yeah, I go Mobies about 95% of the time. The only time I don't go Mobies is if they're literally like 5 auto attackers, in which case not getting Tabbies is trolling.
Correct.
Or if they're like 4 AP, then in that case you kind of need Mercs.
Even if you play against, say, a Morgana, you don't go Mercs?
No.
Okay.
You need the Mobies so you can roam, and you can ward, and it also helps you engage as well.
That makes sense.
Like on it, like if you get Mobies, you've got 70 move speed faster than if you have the Mercs when the passive is on. So it's a lot easier to engage because if you have Mercs, like you run at somebody and they walk faster than you. So you can't. It's really hard to engage when you don't have Mobies. Especially like if you have Flash, it's probably okay. But if you don't have Flash, like it's really hard to engage because nobody's gonna let you walk on them.
That makes sense. And you
Yeah.
don't want to burn Flash just to engage, so...
Yeah, so normally, when you're walking bot after you recall, you need to look at the lane state. If the wave is frozen in front of their tower, you need to go bot lane, because you need to help break the freeze. Because if your AD carry goes bot and it's frozen, he can't do anything. If it's not frozen, like if they're pushing, I suspect they're pushing right now because MF has been last hitting, and you guys didn't push the wave out before. So it's probably pushing your way, which means that they've got minion advantage, and it's going to slow push into your tower, which means that you've got some time to go roam on the map right now. So this is the perfect time to take your pink and go stick it mid, and then you can try to look for a gank while you're at it. Like, you can't always get the gank off, but sometimes you can. And this is why you kind of have to like look at the lane state to see what's happening, if it's frozen or if they're pushing. Pink's not very good.
Through going to lane, I was like, why am I just walking the lane? But it's too late. By the time I was there.
So you notice here that it's actually slow pushing. So if you roam, and if you're assuming you're completely zoned off of the wave, which you probably will be because Pyke is 6 and MF is 7 and you're still 5. By the time this crashes into tower, like, you might lose these 2 melee creeps, but every other creep in this wave and the next wave is probably going to be safe. So whether you're here or not really doesn't matter, because Draven can't last hit these anyway. Oh wow, okay. Let's watch that again. So that was that E flash. That was good.
But this time I actually flash E'd. It was interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah, so this ended up being okay. Like, Pyke left lane and then Draven got a really good engage. Normally this shouldn't happen because they've got 2 ults and you only have 1.
Yeah.
So it's just that, like, the MF walked up too far. Yeah, so I guess this was good. That was a really good follow-up.
Thank you.
So now the plan is hard shove. And, yeah. Alright.
Should be helping him auto the creeps there.
Yeah, okay, so there's 2 things you can do. First of all, you can help him push, or you can actually just leave lane. Normally, okay, so after you get a kill, so it's a 2v1 situation, you want to, first of all, push the wave, so that way you can recall, or do whatever, and they lose a bunch of creeps. But then, after that, you basically have to decide, 1, can I dive, and if the answer is yes, then you can dive, obviously. And if you can't dive, then you want to roam. Or recall, if you need to recall.
So you're saying it would be fine to leave Draven here and roam up mid if there was a good gank?
Yeah, so like right now, what's the probability of this Draven dying to Pyke is like 0. He's full health and he's got like a shit ton of creeps. So if Pyke goes on him, like, unless he's playing with his feet, he should be killing the Pyke.
Alright.
So right now, you can actually, like, you could have left lane, like, even up to like 5 seconds ago. Okay. And you could be way up to mid lane and trying to get a kill mid. Because right now, you're actually kind of like wasting your time, right?
Correct.
And even then, in general, hitting the tower as a support is kind of like a noob trap. The only time you want to do it is if you're an enchanter, because then you have the spell thieves, and it gives you the gold.
Yes, and you got the
so,
so
yeah, and like you need to get the gold item stacked up. So normally you can get like 60 gold from hitting the tower, but otherwise, if you're a support, if you're hitting this tower, like, you're not even getting more gold, because the gold that you're getting, you're like removing it from Draven, right? Okay. Because otherwise, like, okay, so if Draven takes this plate alone, he gets 160 gold.
Yes.
And if you help him, you guys both get 80. So in the end, you don't get any more gold.
That's interesting. I like that. So you mostly stay off the tower and just let your ADC get the gold.
Yeah, like, okay, I mean, the real issue is, like, first of all, you're not getting any value by staying in lane, and you could be getting value somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now you could be, like, even then, now you could be, like, up to here almost, and you still have your ultimate. So you can just walk on this Lucian, and you can potentially kill him.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But now that you're bot lane, I mean, you can't really...
definitely out of position there.
Let's see if you could have done something better. Think you could have maybe killed the pike. Okay, so I like the E on the MF. If you had insane reflexes, you could have maybe R'd the pike. If you had insane reflexes. Like, you could, as you E, you could R right on top of yourself, but this is like... Yeah. I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. Like, you'd have to be really fast. I mean, basically, you should have just helped them shove and then roamed. I think this happened earlier, too, where you didn't help him shove and then he got hooked. Alright, let's skip ahead. Alright, so coming bot here is fine because they're overstaying in their greeting. And also the wave is shoved, so you need to grab the EXP. Okay, so Draven's got his ult. Yeah, you actually don't need to wait for the Draven here. Like, right now, instead of turning back... Because you know that they both just ulted, right?
Yes.
When they killed you.
So you're saying I could have probably gone in on there and started a good fight?
Yeah, so this Pike is pretty low, so if he tries to fight, he's probably dead. And then, both of them have no ult. You have ult, and Draven has ult. Right?
Yeah.
So you've got 2 ults, they've got no ults, and the Pike is low. So right now, you should be going on this MF. It's hard to go on the Pike, just because he'll probably just E out.
Yeah.
And then, like, when he E's out, then he's too far for the Draven to hit, so you probably want to go on the MF, even though she's full health. But right now, like, your Draven is close enough that he can, like, use his speed boost. And if they stay and focus you, they're gonna die when the Draven gets here. So you should just be, like, right now, she's going for this cannon, because this Draven is pretty close, right? Like, maybe you can let her auto once or twice, but you definitely should be looking for the hook instead of backing off. You see how she's greeting for these creeps?
Yes.
Yeah, like, even now, like, okay, maybe if you didn't walk back so far, you could just throw an ult, and then she would have to flash it. And if she doesn't have flash, she's still dead.
I see that.
Alright, yeah, so right now you definitely need to be pushing. Right? Because they backed right now, right?
Correct. So we're
Probably.
some more towers, yeah.
Yeah, so when you're shoving, you just pop your W and you help push the wave.
Okay.
Because you see how it's taking Draven 2 autos to kill this back row?
Yes.
If you popped your W, he would have killed this creep in 1 hit. And you can also take the caster creeps with your relic shield. Like, it doesn't really matter. You just want to push the wave as fast as possible. And once again, right here, there's no reason to go bot lane and hit this tower. Now, you should be running mid to place your pink ward and also looking for a gank. So you see how Kassadin's walking back to lane?
Yeah.
By the time you get mid, Kassadin should be back to lane, and I don't know where Lucian is, but maybe he'll be back to lane too.
See that? We could have gotten that full 160 on him.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine as support to get some gold, right? Because you're gold starved all the time.
Right.
So it's not so much the fact that Draven isn't getting 160, it's just the fact that, like, you're not really getting any value out of it. Alright, I mean, this Pike is overextending pretty far. You could have maybe went on him. You see how far back the MF is?
For sure.
Yeah, so at this point, you can probably look for an engage on him. You should have turned, like, a little bit faster. I don't know if you could have killed him. I doubt it, but...
Could have at least chunked him down.
Yeah. Alright, so Zach is top. Okay, so Draven has Infinity Edge. And MF still... Okay, so MF has a Cutlass and a BF Sword, and Draven has Infinity Edge, so you're stronger right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have your Ignite. So... Like, right now, you can just be trying to look for a kill on the MF if she steps too far up. Like, if you drop her full combo on her, she should be dead with, like, 2 Draven autos and an ult.
With the Ignite and everything?
Yeah. I guess this is fine too. Just last hit. Yeah, like right here. If you were a little further up, like she definitely shouldn't have been able to auto this creep for free. You could have, like, if you were further up, you could engage on her right now. And she's close enough to the towers that it's hard for Pyke to do anything. Plus, you've got minions coming. So if you engaged on her now, then Pyke is... Like, Pyke can't really do much, so you just stun lock her, and then Draven just does auto ult, and then she's probably dead.
Okay.
Because you've got a lot of damage. Like, Leona has 4 damage skills plus her passive, and then plus Ignite. So you do a shitload of damage. Yeah, so if you would have got that hook, you would have probably died. And the reason is because now you don't have minion advantage anymore, and also your Draven is kind of far back. Alright, so Graves is coming. That was a little messy, but I think it ended up working.
Right.
Oh, it's because she had a Cutlass, okay.
I didn't pop my E there. That probably would have helped out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I would have said that you could have done better here in this case, like, because it was really unfortunate that she had the Cutlass slow randomly. Right here, you should be Eing on top of the Pyke, because you want to, like, get the hell out of here.
Okay.
And also, pop your W for the damage reduction, like when she was autoing you.
Yeah.
But overall, that was pretty good. Like, it's still a 2 for 1.
Could have been cleaner though, for sure.
Alright, let's look at item choices.
Yes.
Aegis, do you think that's a good buy?
I probably should have gone the whatever the AD item where it gives you AD and mana first because it's in an AD.
Yeah.
High lane.
Or yeah. So the MR has no value for you right now. So this is like a bunch of wasted gold. You should definitely go with the Glacial Shroud because that gives you the cooldown reduction and you get the armor. And the mana can also help sometimes. Other than that, like personally, the build that I like doing is I go to Kindle Gem first, and then I go Glacial, and then I go Zeke's.
Okay.
So that's just like my personal preference because that gives you 20% CDR early, and then I use the Rune for 5% CDR, and then I use the CDR on the this 4% CDR. So then I'd be at 30% CDR right now.
All right.
So I find that that's a really good build for me anyway. Either way, like even if you're not going to Kindle Gem, if you're rushing the Zeke's, then you should definitely get the Glacial first because the MR has no value in this lane.
Alright, do you go the Kindle Gem Glacial pretty much every game?
Yes.
Alright.
Because like you've got a lot of resistances on Leona, especially because like her base stats, her Aftershock, and her W all give her a ton of armor and MR. So if you pop W and you Aftershock somebody, you got like 200 armor. So at that point, like an extra cloth armor that gives you like 10 or 15 armor basically doesn't do anything.
Alright.
So to be tankier on Leona, you basically just need HP. Which is why I like getting the Kindle Gem first, because it gives me the health, and then it also gives me the CDR. And then after that, you can go into the Zeke's. But just rushing Zeke's is also okay, although you should definitely rush the Glacial Shroud. If you're against like Zyra, then maybe getting the Aegis is fine.
Makes sense.
But Otherwise, you probably want to get the glacial. So I think this dragon is going to be pretty free. You've got no ult right now. Alright, let's back up a bit.
This is a very silly fight. I think Graves ended up not having smite up, so he backed off of dragon then.
Alright, so at this point, I think this is fine. Kassadin, please do something. That's okay. Backing off, that's okay. Alright. Yeah, I don't know if going on the MF is a good idea right now. Maybe just following. Yeah, I think this is probably the better.
Probably wasted that space.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even see this giant TP. At this point, this is probably like, this is maybe not a good idea to go in. Because, you know, there's a 1, 2, 3. So maybe just like stun the MF and get out of here. I mean, like, it's not really the end of the world. Did they get the Drake? Yeah, they got the Drake. Okay.
Yeah.
That fight started out okay. I think you guys overchased a little bit, but still okay. You're running mid, which is fine. Graves is getting obliterated. Alright, let's see. If you wanted to engage, I would have done it right now, actually.
Yeah.
Just because the Malphite is low, and you can probably just blow him up. But after that, like, I don't think you really had a window. Yeah, so now his shield came back up. If you would have E-flashed on him before his shield comes up, and then just, like, stun-locked him, I think you could have just blown him up. But right now, I don't think... Like, I think you kind of lost your window.
I agree with that. Even if I was on that Lucian maybe a little earlier, it would have been alright, but...
Yeah, so...
Like right there.
Right here. If you did it right now, then maybe it's okay. But you waited kind of long. Ult was not great, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Okay, so I like that you put the ward there to defend yourself. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be much. Right now, since you know that they cleared your ward over there, you can actually drop a ward in the pixel bush.
Just coming down there.
Yeah, so you know that Zac is coming anyway. So that's fine. Yeah, so right now you should probably be looking to just recall. Yeah, I don't... So the thing is... I mean, this is a similar thing where you can't get the tower. Actually, at this point of the game, it's fine to go for towers because they're a lot squishier.
Yes.
And, like, you want to get the tower kill gold. Maybe the first tower, too. So it's fine, but you didn't have enough creeps. So after the kill, you should have just let them finish off the wave and then just recall.
I agree.
And then roam. Okay, so this is pretty tragic again.
Nasty.
I think this is like the third time that you guys overstayed bottom. So I think that's like... I mean, that's at least an easy problem to fix, right?
Correct.
Alright, let's skip ahead a bit more. fight going on mid. You probably want to run mid.
Stay at the back.
Alright. It's probably hard to engage because your Kassadin is low, so just clear the wave. Then you can run bot. When you're running bot like this, you definitely want to pop your sweeper, just to make sure there's no wards. Because if there is a ward and you like run to gank, if you're running bot and there's a ward, you can just like clear the ward, then turn around, because you know that they've probably backed off at that point.
So don't waste more time running bot.
Yeah, because like Draven can CS on his own. He doesn't really need you.
Stand and fight.
You should have probably dropped a ward in the tri-bush while you were there. But it's not the end of the world. It's just that it's kind of risky pushing into them now. Yeah, so Draven gets it.
I will protect.
Okay. So that's fine. Yeah, so right now you probably just want to shove this in. And then maybe try to clear that ward, because now they're clearing the creeps. So you can go get the ward now. Or you can just run mid. Like either one is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add a little pressure there.
Either one is okay. Alright, here you should definitely be continuing mid, because you see how this Lucian is still moving up? Like, he might have even dashed forward. So, like, there's no real reason to be over here. Like, you could, right now you could be up here instead, and it looks like this Lucian is really forward.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like a fight is breaking out mid. There's a 2v2 right now.
So we could have been there and make it a 4v2.
Yeah, so they actually dove your team right now. And I think you probably just didn't even see it. You were right here, and then they 2v2 dove your team. So hopefully you can get some kills, spot. Alright, so that's okay. So there's still a fight going on, so you definitely want to run there. Yeah. I mean, it definitely would have been better to fight mid this over here. Here you definitely can't kill the Zac. I don't know what that hop was. That was fucking weird.
I think he thought I was coming at him. Wow.
That's fine. Whatever. Wouldn't have changed anything.
Right on.
Hopefully you guys just get this for free. Oh, something's happening. Right. So you get it. Maybe just focus the Zac here.
I think I was trying to zone off that MF. This ended up really...
Yeah, it might have been better to just run.
No, for sure.
Okay, so Pike gets a triple. I mean, at least you got the dragon, right? It's fine. Okay, it's not really fine, but it could have been worse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Graves, you fucker. Why'd you turn around?
See that? I almost did not send you this video because it's but Graves.
It's fine, you baited his ass.
It was all on purpose, right?
Easy kill. I mean, you have to show. This is what we call mental warfare.
Like you said the other day, you missed the E and then you flashed you.
Yeah.
Bait him with that
Of course. Alright, so this is okay. Kassadin, you filthy bastard. Yeah, I mean, that was definitely Kassadin's fault. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, Mordekaiser's there, too. Whatever. I mean, okay. skip ahead. Okay, so what's the plan now?
I'm looking like right here. It looks like we should be warding up Baron and getting set up for the objective.
So you can't really get any of the towers because all the outers are down. Maybe the bot outer's still up. I don't really know, but you can't really go bot because it looks like there's a bunch of people bot. Dragon isn't up, which is like the quote-unquote easy objective, and it's kind of too early to get the Baron. So there isn't really much to do. You just push mid, let the solo laners do the side lanes, and ward up. Yeah, because there isn't really anything else to do on the map right now. So you're sweeping, this is fine. So that's fine. Just clear out the waves. You could have probably dropped a ward, like around here. It's pretty useful to drop wards in the middle of the lane, too.
Yeah.
Like, dropping a ward right here is also fine.
In the crossroads there.
Yeah, so... I don't think it doesn't look like anything's gonna happen. Maybe they dive. Alright. Let's watch this fight.
It looks like it might be nasty. Let's see.
Alright, it looks like maybe your team just gets blown up.
Pretty sure we did.
I think that was good that you didn't hard commit. Because if you would have hard committed, your team would have just died.
But pulling off and letting them tower dive us with
the
game changer right here. The free Baron.
So I think the only thing that I would have done differently, everything else you did perfectly, this is pretty minor, but right here, like, you know that at this point, they definitely can't follow up if you engage, so you probably don't want to throw your E right now. If you just drop your Q, ideally on the Pike, but, like, it's kind of hard to click on him because there's people on top of him, so drop the Q on whoever, and then just drop your ult and then walk out. Like, you don't really need to use your E.
I see that. I didn't.
Because you kind of got, like, bounced around. It ended up being okay, though. Like, it's pretty small. So you got...
I don't use my W as often as I should.
Yeah, so you ended up cleaning them up pretty hard. Alright, perfect. Now you should definitely be hitting tab, seeing the respawn timers. You can see them here, actually, so... The Baron is fine. Alright, you probably want to be warding.
I don't know why I didn't drop the ward there. That's weird.
Yeah, you should have probably dropped a ward.
In that side bush.
You can actually just use all your skills on the Baron. Like your E included, just because well, first of all, it does some damage, and it also procs your passive, which also does some damage. Wait. Okay, you did get the Baron. Okay, so that's pretty good. Looks like you're gonna get the Vow.
Is that the build usually go? I guess that's your second item?
Yeah. And then, yeah, I generally do get the Redemption third.
I saw that, like, the team was kind of losing these team fights, especially with that Zac and Malphite ult. The AoE heal was going to be...
Yeah, I think they're both going full tank. So the thing is about full tanks is that full tank engage people like Zac and Malphite is they generally, well, first they can still kill the 80 carries, but they lose really hard to like Zac and Mortar, like the rest of your team, because tanks lose to bruisers. Really hard. Like, And they actually lose to 80 carries if they get peeled, too. So, like, I mean, tanks are kind of meh, to be honest. Like, they're really impressive in the mid-game, but then they kind of fall off.
So you're saying if, like, if Malphite was AP there, it would be a little bit harder of a game?
Well, I mean... Not really. Like, I think Malphite just, in general, falls if there's not that much AP. Or if they're not, like, full AD. Well, it also depends on the comps, too, right? Because you've got, like, a bunch of bruiser-ish champions that can duel them really easily. If you didn't have these types of champions... if you had, like, a bunch of mages instead, like, tanks are really good against mages. For example.
Right on.
So, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. It's kind of tragic that you missed your E. Right now, you could probably be going in on the MF. But I think it's okay. Yeah, like, I think you could be further up here.
It's a bad time to engage, you're saying?
A little late. Actually, let's go all the way up to this fight. So, I mean, I think overall this fight was played well. Yeah, I mean, you basically killed this guy. Once again, like, you see how you're kiting this way? Like, yeah. You just clicked right here. At this point, you definitely, like, you want to be running them over, because you know that this Malphite is going to run away, and that they're over here, so you want to be kiting towards them. So see how, like, right now you could be all the way over here. Right? Because if you didn't, like, do this whole thing, you could be over here, and, like, you could have actually hit... Yeah, you could have actually hit your E over the wall, and then you could, like, stun the MF, and then this guy, Cassidin, can jump over.
And Graves there.
Yeah, and the Graves. So I think you could have at least killed the MF. I don't know about... Alright, so let's look over here. Right here, that's tragic. But right here, your E is back. Like, once again, you don't need to be kiting out. Like, you're full health, and you've still got your W and your ult. So you can be kiting over here. They're probably going to last hit the tower. Like, they only need, like, one auto reach, and it's dead. So you could be over here and looking for an E on the MF.
Alright.
If you get the E on the MF and you stun lock her, and then Zac is over here, then... I don't know, maybe Pyke hits the Draven, but then the Draven can at least get a few autos off, and then your team can follow, and this tower's gonna drop.
Yeah, that could have been a little smoother for sure.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you could have killed the MF there, maybe. Anyway. Fine, random shit's happening. More random shit. Can't do anything. Still can't do anything. Draven shouldn't be there. Yeah, like, at this point, like, you just kind of wait for your team and then drop some wards. So they're fighting. I don't know what's going on. I mean, level 16 Cassidin.
Correct.
I liked your E flash on the MF. The only thing I would have said is that maybe you could have used your Ignite faster.
Yeah.
Like, you waited till she was really low. I mean, overall, I think this fight is okay. I think it Cass recalled. So that's a good re-engage. That is tragic, but still okay. I mean, this is basically just solo queue. Okay.
It's exactly gold, silver, solo queue.
Yeah. So it looks like there was 2 people top, so this should be pretty free. I mean, hopefully you guys just get this and then nothing happens. Are they doing the Baron?
Yes. Started it while we were on Dragon.
Alright, so when you're over here, you definitely should drop there. Because you know that there was at least some of them mid, so you don't know if they're gonna, like, clamp you. So you kind of need to know that. Alright, so I guess Kassadin just claps them.
Stuff's turning up here.
Holy shit. Yeah, so at this point, I think you just end the game, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what ends up happening. I think we catch Zach here.
Damn. I don't know what the hell that E hitbox was, but...
That's hilarious.
I think that's like the 3rd weird E hitbox that you land this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like you just end the game.
Hassan hit 16 and it just became a different game than we started with.
I mean, his ult cooldown goes from 5 seconds to 3.5 to 2. And if he has 40% CDR, that's a 1.2 second CD on his ult. Which is basically disgusting. Alright, so... things to focus on this game. One, I mean, like, this is the real major one. You definitely do not want to... like, when they go back... or they're low... or you kill them... hard shove the wave. 2, when the wave crashes... don't hit tower. Either recall or roam. 3, after backing, lane state. If frozen, go bot. If they slow push, then you want to just roam. And if a right, and if the wave is crashing at your tower, just go bot because you want to grab all the EXP. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like the in a nutshell. For when fighting, think about what they be doing. So they running kite forward? Are they going on you? So there was a few places where you were kiting backwards and you should have definitely been kiting forwards.
Yeah.
I mean, like, overall, I think you played this game quite well. You landed your engages. You were pretty good with the vision. Like, maybe it would have been nice to see more mid-roams. But, like, basically what ended up happening is, like, you ended up overstaying, like, 3 or 4 times bot lane, and then you kind of died. And then casted in level 16, and it devolved into, like, this kind of fiesta for the last 10 minutes.
Correct.
So
I could have gotten Cass a little more fed, you're saying, towards the early game.
mid game.
Yeah, I mean, like, roaming, it depends on what champions you have. You definitely can't gank for a pre-level 6 Kassadin. But you can at least ward for him. Right? Like, you can run mid and drop your pink ward, and then maybe he can farm or avoid a gank with that. Or maybe you can see the jungler pathing bot with your ward. And also, like, after he was level 6, then maybe you can gank. There was a time where they went and dove 2v2 your mid lane, and you guys were mid, but then you ran bot.
Yes.
So,
some weird fight.
Like, I want to say, like, pay attention to the map, but, like, that's so obvious. Like, obviously, you generally want to pay attention to the map, so I don't think putting it here is very relevant.
And making the correct decisions, I guess, is the biggest thing, because I feel like I saw that, but for some reason I decided to head bottom. I'm not sure what was the decision making there, but
do it. Otherwise, yeah. So, like, helping allies. I think early on, when there was the Zac you got 3-man dove. Mid, and then you kind of walked up and you kind of like dicked around with the Zac and the plant. Then you walked back bot.
Yeah.
Like when that happened, you could have shoved the wave bot and got a recall timer instead. So like if you can help your allies, like I like the fact that you saw they're fighting and then you started walking. That is the correct decision because you don't know if you'll be able to help or do anything. In an alternate dimension, that was the good plan. But where it went wrong is that you failed to realize, like, oh, my team is already dead. By the time I get there, I can't do anything.
Correct. I could have saved a good 30 seconds there and helped shove the lane.
Yeah, so, like, basically what I would tell you, like, mostly focus on the main two things was the kiting, which screwed you over a few times, and also like the wave control early on. Like you need to push the waves and then you need to recall and roam. Like in general, I think if you focus on these, it will help you out quite a bit. Also, the only thing that doesn't really apply to like enchanter supports is the not hit the tower. If you're an enchanter support, like if you're playing Sona, you're not going to roam on Sona. Like, you just roam to a lane and hit Q, and it's like, what's that going to do? Nothing. So you better just get your Spell Thief procs. That's fine.
But you would still shove the lane the same and do all that the same on phase.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the only difference. When you're playing a melee carry, you recall a little early and then go roam, and if you're playing an enchanter, you hit the tower a few times, then recall.
Okay. You don't roam as much on enchanters as you would on...
You can still place your wards, right? Like I would still run mid and place a ward if the lane state allows. But other than that, I would like just don't roam.
Yeah.
Or like you can place the wards and you can counter gank if they're invading your jungle or something. But other than that, you probably don't want to roam all that much because you can't get anything done, right?
Correct. It'd be wasting time, you're saying.
Yeah. Might as well just pressure the lane.
Yeah. Get those spell thieves. I've been going relic shields on my enchanters lately. That seemed to be a little bit different type of a lane.
I actually run relic shield on Lulu. I prefer it.
I agree. It's a lot safer of a stack. It seems to stack faster than the...
Well, it stacks faster and it's also safer, but the other thing is that, like on Lulu in particular, you don't go Athenes, so I don't feel bad not getting the, not getting the other, like the support item, or the mana regen, because if you get the mana regen, the 100% mana regen with Athene converts into 20 AP with your Athenes.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because Athenes turns the mana regen into AP, right? So 20 AP, that's an Amp Tome, which is 435 gold. So a lot of the times I feel kind of bad by getting the Relic Shield on some enchanters because I feel like I'm losing 435 gold worth of value.
I didn't know
but on Lulu, you don't go Athenes anyway. So it doesn't matter.
But on say like Nami, you would want to go Spell Thief because of the Athenes.
Yeah, so generally you'd go with Spell Thief on Nami. If the lane is really tough, like if it's Pike or something,
Yeah, like a Thresh.
maybe Relic Shield is fine.
Alright.
But in general, you want to go the Spell Thieves.
Yeah, hers is a little easier to stack than most of the enchanters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so... Wait, is that actually Pobelt there? Maybe.
That's cool.
Alright, so I'm just gonna play. If you want to stick around for the game, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just go off and do your own things.
Cool, I might watch this one game. I picked up a lot of stuff from the last time I watched you. I felt like it helped me out a lot.
Alright, it looks like it is Pobelt there. Look at that.
That's cool.
He's got 5 games played this season, and he's won 4 of them.
Wow.
Lots of okay, so that's good. I'll take it. We take those. I literally got trolled 2 games in a row, so I'll take the win.
Yeah, for sure.
Please, I'll take the win. Okay, so 80 mid. I've got 2 mids and 2. 2 mids and 2 ADCs. Who's our jungler?
Interesting.
We don't have a top and we don't have a jungler. Okay, that's what we call tragic. Jungle Grey Fox. Can this guy jungle? Fuck.
Yeah, he's a straight AD.
Probably not. He can't jungle. Who's our top? Orphelin. Jesus Christ, looks like a funnel player. Okay, so he does look like a top lane player. Like he's got the Rumble, he's got the Darius, so he's fine top. The only issue is that I don't know if our jungle can jungle.
80% on 70 games. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like what the fuck is it? Like funnel is balanced, by the way.
Is it?
No.
Because it's not. I think I looked up one the other day. It was like 100% out of 50 games or something. So,
No, that's not a like funnel is just stupid.
it's stupid. It's like if Tarek and me are on the same team, that should be like a big nerf to something. Like. Right. I'm gonna AFK real quick, but I'm gonna be here for the game.
Yeah, okay.
It's a pretty sick looking Zyra skin.
It is pretty insane. Next patch.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I've always kind of wanted to play Zyra. Maybe I'll learn her on my Smurf along with Lux.
You should. She's awesome.
I kind of want to learn like mage supports. Like I've been learning Lux. But I don't want to one trick my way to Diamond on my other account. I want to learn like I want to two trick myself, because if I one trick, I feel like I'm not getting value out of the Smurf.
Yes, you're basically just back in the position you are now, huh?
Yeah, I want to learn at least two champions. So maybe I'll do Lux Zyra. They're both mages, so I'll have a shitty time against like assassins. But I don't think it really matters, because like I want to learn all the bad matchups. So if I need to pick them and then something bad happens, I won't just int. Because you can't really learn a champion if you only play them in the good matchups.
Correct. You don't.
Well, you can learn them just as well.
You just learn how to win on them that way.
Alright. Hopefully we don't go down to 0 LP. Let's win this one. I think this Quantum guy's a smurf. And we also, I think we outscale too.
What happened? That jungler dodged on the first Q?
Yup. I mean, like, I don't know who dodged. Somebody dodged. Alright, let's see if we can... Please smite it. Alright, that's fine. Please, I want the EXP. I got it. Alright, GG. Wait, fuck! They got Pole Belter anyway. I actually waited because,
Damn.
I didn't want to queue up with Pole Belter and have him on the other team, but I saw that he got into a game, and then I stopped the queue, but then they dodged, apparently.
Yeah.
So I guess it didn't matter. I mean, our mid is Challenger as well, so we're okay.
Nice.
No! Alright, I'm fucking trolling. That would have been really free. Alright, we're diving. Even if I die, it doesn't matter because then... Oh my god.
Nice.
Alright, we didn't get the kill. Oh shit, we did get the MF. But either way, you see how many creeps she lost? So now we're up like 20 CS and like a level or two. Alright, so I need to back because I'm really low.
We'll see that. Instead of helping him shove there, you're fine. I'm backing by yourself.
I mean, maybe I could have helped him back, but... like, I was really low. I didn't want shit to happen. So the reason why I'm running mid is you see how he's gonna like, I know that Lucian is gonna recall right now. So I get 0 value out of going bot. Alright, so it looks like we might have just won the game. I don't know what's going on. Let's cast it in. Okay, no TP. No deep wards. And this is pushing towards us too. So we're up 20 CS and they've got a shitty wave. Basically, that's the dream.
Can't ask for anything more.
If I was paying attention, I could have froze that wave mid lane for Kassadin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, though. This guy's pretty far up on EXP on me, but that's okay. I mean, we've got Pobelter against an autofill top, so that's kind of tragic, but at least he's playing Ornn. I don't really want to engage. Alright, well.
Alright. So you used your W there to help shove the wave.
Yeah, I mean, that W was also just because I was getting focused. Just game of my life. Alright. Can we kill her? Yeah, so like, this MF is really having a shit game.
Nice. Teleport coming in. I guess it has to feel good to win the game versus Pobelter anyway.
Watch us throw this game.
With Lucy and ADC, I gotta say I've seen it a lot.
It feels good that I got trolled 2 games in a row, and then, yeah, this.
That's what happened to you last time, though. You said you were on a 3-game lose streak, and then I watched, and you won 2 games in a row.
Yeah, maybe you should spectate me more often.
You're having a bad game. Just hit me up.
Okay, so the dumb, you know Tarzan? Like, he sometimes hit rank 1 on the ladder. He's a jungle main.
Yeah.
I've played with him twice, and both times he inted the AFK'd. Like, he's honestly a super toxic player. And he only does this when he's off stream. But he doesn't get banned because he's a streamer. It's actually disgusting.
Do you think they get special treatment that way?
They definitely do.
Because I know you can AFK or do that every now and then, but if you do it too much, it's going to be
Alright, so when I'm level 6, we can kill them.
Seems like
Actually,
if you're like at this higher level, you wouldn't want to be toxic because you're basically in the same game with the same people all the time.
I mean, part of it is also that he has like 1 million accounts.
Right.
Alright. So I guess they're not open. Okay, so jungler's mid.
I see that with that aftershock and everything. You're pretty toxic.
This is the most disgusting bot lane I've played in a while.
Nine-minute tower. That's gross. Do you usually have a pretty good lane versus Brand, or is it usually difficult?
Well, the thing about Brand is that if you engage on him, he's automatically dead. Part of the reason is I played against this Harambe a few times. He's a Wukong top 1 trick.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's part of the reason. Alright.
So do you ever go exhaust, say against like a heavy assassins team, or are you pretty much?
Not on Leona. On Leona, you just want to stun lock their face.
And use ignite?
Yeah, you just want to stun lock them and blow them up.
Alright. I figure she's pretty much a kill lane, right?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, this trundle is fucking popping off.
It's turning up.
What the fuck is that? This game is a fucking massacre.
Is that the one you said might be a Smurf? Or was it the
No, it's the mid laner.
Interesting.
Like, this is honestly really disgusting. Like, we're zoning this guy so he can't even get CS or EXP. And we zoned MF, like, the whole game from CS and EXP, too.
But I think it's interesting, the synergy y'all have is a lot different than the games I play.
Well, it's partially synergy and partially just the fact that people generally know how to push their leads a lot better with this elo.
Nice. Ult. Man, he is squishy. Wow, he's level 6. That's gross.
This is fucking... this is disgusting.
Do you use auto attack click?
I do not. I should, but I don't.
Alright.
Wow, okay. I thought I was going to show you a game, but we're just playing whack-a-mole.
Mm-hmm.
There's really, like, there isn't really anything... Like, if anything, you can pull from this game is how we really used our lead, and we dove them, and denied them so hard.
Yes.
But, like... Okay, let's get out of here.
Uh-oh.
Damn. Oh, Brand got both, so that's fine. Yeah, no gold for Pro Belt there. We take that. 1950. Just short. I mean, something's happening bot lane, though. Like, I honestly don't think they can win this game. I don't want to sound like I'm being a douchebag, but, like, Irelia and, what's his face? Olaf don't scale at all. And we've got Kassadin and Ornn.
Neither, same with MF, huh?
Yeah, like, well, MF doesn't scale that well, but Lucian also doesn't scale super hard either. I mean, I'd say it's pretty even. Maybe this guy scales a little bit harder.
Nice. Was that a flashy? Or E-flash?
Yeah. I mean, I think this game, as I said, yeah, I think it's pretty much over. We've taken... This is our 5th tower in 13 minutes.
So gross. So this game's got 1 more minute left to it.
This is what we call tragic. So I'm just going to drop some words in recall. The Herald is coming up soon, so we should hover topside. Hopefully we can get this Herald.
Do you usually use your item actives on your ADC, or do you swap them around depending?
So I'll use the Zeke's on the AD carry like 90% of the time. The Knight's Vow, it depends. Like, for example, say I have an Olaf. Like, Olaf really runs in, and he needs... Like, he's basically a stat check champion, right? So on him... Oh my... Alright. I'm fucking bad.
My bad. I was getting you to explain something.
No, that was just bad. Yeah, so if it's someone like Olaf, then I'll vow him, or somebody that goes in a lot of damage and does a lot of damage. So, like, Olaf is an example. Other than that, like, Set. Or, like, if I have a fed Vladimir that'll run in, I will do it on the Vladimir.
Okay. So you do want to kind of use it on your front line.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, because that way you just get more value. Like, basically, people who deal a lot of damage, a lot of damage. It also depends on the AD carry. So if we have Ezreal, then you maybe want to use your Vow on somebody else, just because the Ezreal is going to play really safe. Like, the Ezreal probably isn't going to take any damage, right? He sits way back, and he just throws out his Qs. So, in that case, like in this game, there isn't really anybody that I can Vow. Like, late game, I'll maybe Vow the Kassadin.
Alright, you wouldn't do it on Trundle?
No. Like, the problem with Trundle is he's just a tank, right?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't really do that much. Not that he doesn't do that much, but it's... The Kassadin is the one that carries, right? Like, he's the one that has all the damage.
Once you hit 16, yeah. So you're wanting to use it kind of... You do it like that for the heal.
Yeah. Or, no, like, you want to do... Because they're going to focus the Kassadin. Like, basically, you want to find out... You either... Okay, first of all, like... Do you have a priority target that they want to dive and that they're going to blow up? So if they've got 3 assassins... Like, you definitely just vowed the AD carry because they're going to jump on the AD carry and you need the peel.
Correct. And you need the extra.
Otherwise, what you want to try to do, like, if that's not the case, you generally want to... Like, if the AD carry is really safe, like, against this comp, like, he's... I mean, like, he's not that safe because they do have Irelia Olaf. But you want to, like, maximize the passive, basically. So the Knight's Vow, it gives you value when they take damage and when they deal damage. So, like, as I said, a perfect example is Vladimir, because Vladimir generally takes a shitload of damage, and he heals a lot of damage, and he does a lot of damage to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So, putting the Vow on him will give you a lot of value.
Okay, and people focus him because he's just running in their face.
Yeah, like, he just protobelts into their entire team and then pops all of his skills. I don't know why I got 2 tilt-proof. Was I supposed to tilt?
I don't know.
Like, do you tilt on a 24-5 game?
I don't know. It wasn't even like a hard game at all.
Yeah.
People hitting random buttons.
Yeah, alright. I want to play on my Smurf now, just because I find that after around 9 p.m., like sometime around 9:30, I start getting, like, tired, and then it's like I play basically autopilot.
I feel you there. I do the same thing. Mine's around like 10, 11 my time.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's kind of shitty that because I really want to be climbing, but I also don't want to. I don't want to be feeding. All right, well.
That makes sense.
If you want to come, that's fine. Or maybe you want to just play some ranked. Either one is okay.
Might go play some ranked. I gotta do a few things.
Alright.
But if you play another one after this and I don't feel like playing ranked, I'll message you.
Oh, I'm going to go to bed after this one. Well, not immediately after. I want to take like a shower and then read a bit and then go to bed.
That's smart. I appreciate your help there, man. You unloaded me with some information.
No problem. I don't know, like, I mean, you could all